Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 20 and 0 gameplay. It takes place on the map Colony. Colony is actually a great map. It sort of reminds me of a Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 4-esque map. It's pretty great fun to play on, and it's definitely one of my favorite things about Titanfall is the options of multiplayer maps and the fact that they're incredibly well designed for the most part. I really haven't run into a map that I dislike. I know a lot of people wish that the game types and the variety that was on offer in Titanfall was a little bit more diverse and varied. But at the end of the day, what they basically tried to do with this game is they tried to focus all their talents on making the multiplayer as fleshed out and as effective as possible. And I honestly think they've done a pretty incredible job of that. It's been the shortfall of a lot of multiplayer games recently, and the fact that the multiplayer games the multiplayer maps on offer, there either haven't been enough or some of the ones at launch haven't been as good as I would have liked. In the case of Gears of War Judgment, I believe there were 5 default maps to play TDM on. In the case of Battlefield 4, I feel like the maps that they launched with weren't that amazing, but as the DLCs were being churned out, they got better and better. And then games like Halo 4 that had a very small selection of maps, and some of them just didn't feel like that much time and effort had gone into them. We see this with a lot of development houses as of recently, and the fact that they split their resources, they're rushed to meet this release date, and they just don't have the time or the resources to be able to, you know, perform what is expected of them. And I think Titanfall kind of did a good job in just saying, look, we do one thing really good in terms of our multiplayer, let's make a really good go of that. Because in terms of military campaigns, you know, if you think what was possible in a Titanfall campaign, you know, I think there's a chance that it could have been a fairly generic, you know, blockbuster experience that wouldn't have been really the most memorable thing in the world. Whereas I think this multiplayer has so much potential longevity that it was kind of worth putting all their effort into that and making it the most solid experience ever, because I feel like they'll get more time out of it as a result, especially if they start releasing DLCs later down the line and they're really solid. You know, it kind of happens on the flip side in the fact that people complain about the fact that campaign games, they tack on multiplayer, and I feel like that can happen with multiplayer games in the fact that they just push out a campaign because that's what people say they want. But at the end of the day, a lot of people, you know, they won't even be talking about those campaigns like 3 years down the line. Or in the case of the multiplayer goes dead and they only play it for the first week. And it just feels like it was a complete waste of resources in a lot of cases. Games like Aliens vs. Predator on the Xbox 360, it just felt like they tacked on multiplayer for the sake of it. That's a rather obscure reference, but there we go. But honestly, you know, I'm just having a ton of fun with the game. I think the maps are really what brings this game to life. I kind of got super frustrated with games like Halo 4 and Gears of War Judgment because it just didn't feel like there was much diversity in the maps, and some of them felt like they were just put in at the last second. It felt like there hadn't been too much effort put into them. But with the free running that goes on this game, you can tell they've designed every single element of the map to be as cohesive and work alongside the Titans and, you know, give them a platform in which to dominate the map in order to gain map control. You know, in Call of Duty Ghosts and Modern Warfare 3, one of the reasons I disliked Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward as companies when it came to, you know, designing their maps. When I say Infinity Ward, I mean the new Infinity Ward, the Infinity Ward / Sledgehammer umbrella. It's kind of hard to tell which company was making what at that point, but it was a little bit jumbled and all over the place. But at the end of the day, they just made maps that it seemed like there would be dead ends in the middle of the map for no good reason. It didn't feel like each part of the map fulfilled a objective, you know. It didn't feel like... It just felt like they tacked on parts of the map, and that was never good. Whereas in Titanfall, it has these simple 3-lane systems where you can attack from multiple perspectives, and there's no dead ends, there's no areas you can go just to hold that position and to play more campy and defensive, and I really enjoyed that. Good maps can make or break a game for me, that's for sure, and it's something I've noticed more and more recently is a lot of the times I get bored of a multiplayer game is not because I just dislike the game mechanics, it's more because I've gotten exhausted with the maps on offer. That's definitely what happened with Halo 4. When they stopped releasing Forge maps, it just felt like I'd reached a dead end, and that was kind of frustrating. Whereas Titanfall, you know, if they put out these good DLCs and if they keep adding on content, you know, 16 maps will definitely last a very long time, and these maps are unique, interesting, and varied. That's really cool to see. Last but not least, you know, what's really kept me going in this game in terms of longevity, and I think will keep me going, obviously it's still early days right now, is the burn card system. And EA seem to be adopting this policy in a lot of their games. If you played Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, if you played Mass Effect 3 Horde mode, they all use cards, and the great thing about them is there's no microtransaction. It feels like this system would lend itself so well to microtransactions, and I'm so glad they didn't decide to go down that option, because it's just an addicting element of the multiplayer that doesn't make you feel like you're being taken for granted by the developers and they're making you, you know, hand up your wallet even though you've already paid the pre-price. And that's good to see from EA, and I hope they keep that up. Anyway, I've been Modest Major. Hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Peace out.